From a Tesla placement that shuts down Electro Giants to a high IQ move to trigger your opponent's King Tower, here are 19 Clash Royale tricks only pros know. Did you know there was once a glitch that let you re-roll lucky drop rewards until you got exactly what you wanted? This exploit let players manipulate the lucky drop system by toggling airplane mode at just the right moment. You'd open a lucky drop, see the reward, and if it wasn't what you wanted, you'd instantly switch on airplane mode and force close the game. When you reopened it, the drop would reset and let you try again and again without spending anything. But Supercell quickly found out about this glitch and handed out bans that lasted anywhere from a few weeks to a lifetime. In mid-2024, Clash Royale had a glitch that let players duplicate cards during matches. You could even sneak in exclusive super event cards like the Super Witch into standard battles. While most players never saw it, some top pros and streamers secretly used it on alt accounts, catching opponents completely off guard with decks that should be illegal. The exploit let them win ranked games using unfair and unstoppable combos, because why ruin someone's day with one Mega Knight when you can do it twice as hard? Imagine facing not one, not two, but an entire army of Guardians, all from one Little Prince. After Champion Evolutions launched, a glitch with the Little Prince let players summon multiple full health Guardians by cloning him and using his ability at the same time. This glitch was especially bad in 2v2s where you could spawn up to 4 Guardians at once, but things went completely off the rails when pros combined this with the duplicate card glitch, stacking several evolved LPs on the field. Each one reset the ability cooldown, creating an infinite loop of Guardian spawns that overwhelmed even Mega Knights, Goblin Drills, and Princes before they could touch the tower. At that point, it felt less like Clash Royale and more like Clash of Clones. But pros took it even further when they started tricking their opponents with fake decks. Since Clash Royale shows your last used deck on your profile, top players started using it as bait. They'd play a bad or weird deck right before a tournament match like Elixir Golem or off-meta Hog to trick opponents into prepping for the wrong strategy. And sometimes they'd even throw the first match on purpose with a fake deck, then switch back to their real one in game 2, completely catching their opponent off guard. It's a genius mind trick, and if you've ever wondered why your counter deck failed, now you know who really got outplayed. What if you could get a free win in every match? In older versions of the game, players discovered that by carefully timing when they started and cancel matchmaking, they could trick the system into giving them an easy bot opponent instead of a real one. These bots were easy to beat, especially in low trophy ranges, making them perfect for quick crowns, XP, or chests. While pros didn't use this to climb leaderboards, many abused it on alt accounts to speedrun progress, until Supercell eventually said no more. Instant Hog Rider denial sounds impossible, but pros do it without taking a single hit. By placing a hard-hitting melee troop on the second tile from the river as the Hog Rider crosses the bridge, you can completely shut it down before it even swings once. It only works because of the Hog's movement pathing and the melee unit's instant hitbox. But if you place the troop even one tile off or a split second late, the Hog will get a hit. That's why pros practice this over and over until the timing becomes second nature. Pretty wild that a single tile can make or break your entire defense. Did you know you can fully counter a Goblin Barrel with no spells without taking any damage? If you drop Goblins or a Goblin Gang the moment the enemy barrel lands and you place them just right, each Goblin will target a different attacker, neutralizing almost all stab damage. Most casual players waste Elixir on spells like Log or Arrows, but skilled players use these tiny placements to turn defense into positive trades. It's the kind of microplay that wins matches, and yet barely anyone knows it exists. What if you could counter your opponent's entire game plan before they even begin? Because that's exactly what pro players do. They memorize popular meta decks so deeply that just 1 or 2 early cards are enough to expose the opponent's whole strategy. For example, if your opponent opens with a Princess in the back, pros instantly think log bait. That's their cue to rush the opposite lane with something like Miner plus Minion Horde, knowing log bait decks usually don't have strong air counters ready. Knowing these links lets skilled players strike before the enemy is even ready. This high IQ punishment style is one of the biggest things that separates casual players from pros, but at least unlike them, you can touch grass. There's a pro level timing trick that most casual players never notice, but it can completely flip a defense. It's called delayed placement, where pros wait just for a split second before dropping a troop to manipulate what the enemy troops or towers lock onto. You'll even see this in high stakes matches like the CRL finals, where pros use these delays to control pathing and gain key elixir trades. Because in Clash Royale, hesitation can be a strategy. Do you know that most casual players only attack one lane, but pros win by splitting their pushes in 2? When an opponent drops a heavy card like Golem or P.E.K.K.A. in the back, pros immediately pressure the opposite lane. This forces the enemy to spend elixir defending, leaving their big push unsupported. Even with cheaper support cards like Witch or Wizard, applying opposite lane pressure can shut down their entire setup. In advanced play, pros use cards with shared counters in both lanes to guarantee a breakthrough on one side. It's like giving your opponent a pop quiz in 2 subjects at once and they forgot to study for both. A 1 elixir troop can completely shut down some of the scariest win conditions in the game. The Ice Spirit isn't just a cheap cycle card, it's one of the best counters to charge up threats like Inferno Dragon, Inferno Tower, and Sparky. A perfect timed jump can freeze and reset their charge, stopping deadly attacks and giving your tower or troops time to clean up. Pros take it a step further by delaying the drop slightly, making sure the freeze lands right before the enemy fires. Who knew the cheapest card in the game could give Sparky an existential crisis mid-charge? But I bet you didn't know that there's a way to make a Goblin Barrel practically invisible. Top tier players pull off a sneaky combo by launching a rocket and a Goblin Barrel at the same time. The trick is in the timing where the barrel lands just behind the rocket so the smoke and explosion completely hide the goblin. All the opponent sees is chaos, and by the time they realize what's happening, the goblins are already stabbing their tower. Unless you're watching for the shadow, you'll miss it. It's the Clash Royale version of now you see it, now your tower's gone. You might think it's over once the giant skeleton reaches your tower, but that's why you're not a pro. At top levels, players know the giant skeleton's true danger isn't its melee swings, but the massive bomb it leaves behind. Just before it dies near your tower, pros drop a building targeting troop like an ice golem or battle ram on top of their own tower. This forces the giant skeleton to retarget and walk away, chasing the new unit. Then when it finally explodes, the bomb goes off safely at a distance. It's like handing the giant skeleton fake directions and he actually follows them. Have you ever wondered why your bandit always loses to theirs even when you dropped first? Most players drop their bandit in a straight line, but pros place her slightly off to the side. That tiny angle forces the enemy bandit to adjust her dash, causing a brief delay. And in mirror matchups, the split second is all it takes. Turns out even a few tiles of bandit placement can mean the difference between a clean kill or getting yeeted out of the arena. A fully charged prince can crush your tower almost instantly, but what if there was a way you could stop him? Pros use a skeleton or ice spirit to block charging troops like prince, dark prince, bandit, or ram rider at the perfect moment. The cheap unit absorbs the hits, resetting the charge and removing their double damage bonus or special ability. Now they're just regular attackers, easily handled by your tower or support troops. Imagine spending 5 elixir just to get outplayed by a guy who's literally boned. For only 3 elixir, you could shut down a Mega Knight before he even touches your tower. When the tombstone is placed in the center front of your king tower, it pulls the Mega Knight away and forces him to waste his leap on spawning skeletons. These skeletons distract and chip away, stalling him long enough for your tower to finish the job. In many cases, he dies without landing a single hit. Do you ever wonder how pros pull off those insane all-in pushes without getting punished? Top players quietly track elixir trades from the very first card. If your opponent drops a 4 elixir hog and you defend with a 3 elixir cannon, that's a +1 gain for you. Keep winning small trades like that, and before you know it, you're sitting on 4 extra elixir while your opponent's caught off guard. That's when the pro goes all in. While the opponent scrambles with empty pockets, the tower melts. This one trick is all it takes to make Electro Giant completely miss your tower. The Electro Giant's chain lighting hits nearby princess towers while he's attacking unless you manipulate his path. Pro players delay their Tesla until E-Giant crosses the bridge, then place it dead center 1 tile from the river. This forces the E-Giant to walk deep into your side before locking on. Suddenly, your 4 elixir building shuts down a 7 elixir threat with no tower damage. Placing your troops just a little differently can actually save you tons of elixir. Most players drop their barbarians or minion horde all bunched up and then wonder why they vanish to a single wizard shot. But pros actually spread swarm units around the target. Whether it's barbarians on a wizard or skeletons on a witch, spacing correctly keeps your troops alive and sets you for a strong counter push. Turns out giving your wizard a group hug is the fastest way to disappear. And there you have it, 19 Clash Royale tricks pros abuse that you don't. Like and subscribe and watch the video on screen now!